Yo, what's up? My name's Patrouski, and making money in PokeMMO is really important for any type of player, no matter who you are. Today, I'm going to be testing loop from 1 hour of quick balling Shroomishes while shiny hunting. The cool thing about this spot is that you don't actually lose much time from just quick balling Shroomishes while at this spot. I'm going to be starting with 200 quick balls, and that's going to be an important calculation because the cost is actually going to be quite high here at 1,200 Pokeyen per Pokemon, obviously, per catch. But Shroomish is one of the most common shiny hunted locations in the game. It's one of the best Pokemon to single encounter shiny hunt. You can also go for Treecko while you're here. And if you can shiny hunt a really cool Pokemon and make some money along the way, why would you not, right? We've got Shroomish males always going for 3K a piece minimum. Females might even go for a little more, it seems, which is pretty cool. So yeah, the Shroomishes all go for a base price of 3K. So every single time I throw a quick ball, even though it costs 1,200 Pokeyen, I'm actually making, like, to be fair, it's only like 600 Pokeyen after the listing fee, but I might be able to sell some Shroomish boxes as well. So there's some potential for some huge profits here. And then Shroomishes with 1x31s, especially with nature. A 31 attack IV Shroomish is going to be only around pretty cheap, honestly, 35K. But if I get like a 20 plus attack IV with adamant, that could be worth a little bit more. Honestly, less than I expected, but we'll see what happens. Shroomish is one of the most desired Pokemon in PokeMMO for a couple reasons. Number one, you need it for a catching Pokemon in Breloom. That's the main reason. And then number two, you need it for PvP. Breloom is a pretty relevant PvP Pokemon. Really interesting type with grass fighting and having access to Spore. Let's go ahead and actually get into the method. I'm going to be starting over in Petalburg City and then running over to the forest, which you just go top left to get to. You probably can do this decently early into the Hoenn storyline as well, since you don't need any high-level Pokemon. I'm really just going to be using a swarm Pokemon to lead my party to get slightly more encounters per hour. Sitting right here, popping lures. Now, you don't need to pop lures to make Pokeyen here. I'm just going to be popping lures to shiny hunt, so I'm not going to include those into the cost. You could, though, but it's usually only around 15K Pokeyen to pop expert lures per hour on average. So from here on out, I'm going to go ahead and pop expert lures, run back and forth, start a timer, and I will see you guys after 1 hour of quick balling Shroomishes. All right, there goes my phone timer. That is the hour completed. I'm going to catch this Shroomish, and then I ran away from one Shroomish on accident, so I'm going to catch one more as well. Thankfully, Stream Chat caught me on that. All right, and with the hour over, we ended up with 23 Shroomish caught. 12 of which were caught in quick balls, and the other, I believe, 11 were caught in Pokeballs. You see, I would go ahead and catch these Shroomish in a Pokeball if it was in a double battle, because it was pretty easy to do so. I would go ahead and false swipe it down and be able to Pokeball it pretty simply. So that was actually the better strategy to save some money, and also it was around the same amount of time, and I would go ahead and catch all Shroomishes in double battles. So let's calculate the cost of the Pokeballs with that knowledge. Calculator will be in the bottom left. If quick balls cost, I believe, around 1,200 Pokeyen a piece at the moment. Let's double check. 1,200. Let's do 1,200 times 12. It's gonna leave me with 14.4K cost on the quick balls, and then the Pokeballs only cost 200 a piece times 11. That's 2.2K. So it ends up being around 17K if we high average it out or whatever. Around 17K was the cost for the Pokeballs. Let's see how much we can actually sell these Shroomish for. First, we can actually check our items. We ended up with 1 big mushroom, 2 big mushrooms, and 1 tiny mushroom. However, mushrooms don't really go for much nowadays since the mushroom relearner has been deleted from the game. You can, however, actually go sell 2 big mushrooms for 5K. So you know what? We are going to actually that's something. That's significant. That's going to take care of some of that Pokeball price. So we're going to factor that in as our first 5K Pokeyen. I had really bad luck, funnily enough, on the 1x31s with only 2 of them out of 23 Pokemon. It's around a 1 out of every 5, 1 out of every 6 Pokemon or so. You should end up with a 1x31. So pretty poor luck there. Let's see how much Pokemon we can make even with a bad luck on the hour. However, I also got 3 Shroomish with Jolly or Adamant Nature, and then 6 Shroomish with 20 plus attack and speed, which I think some of these might have some decent value. So here is our final, here's our leftover. This is all of our shit Shroomish is what you could call them, kind of like a shitto box. These will all be just sold at base price. Let's calculate those first. All right, we do have 6 of each, 6 female Shroomish and then 6 male Shroomish. Male Shroomishes will go for around 3K a piece pretty consistently since they're in the male fairy egg group. And then I think Shroomishes themselves might actually have a decent base price. Yeah, so I could even sell the females for around 3K. It looks like it'll be a little less. That'll be something to factor in or calculate. But yeah, around 2,700 a piece. They sell pretty quickly as well, as you can see. That's actually super, super, super solid. So if we calc these after the listing fee, we're going to subtract 1K from each of them, right? So we're going to calc these 6 males at 2K a piece, so it's an easy plus 12K. We'll just keep that in the back of our head. And then these are going to be a little more complicated. These are going to be 1,700 profit each after the listing fee, so it'll be 1,700 times 6. We're going to round that down to 10K. I'd rather have a, safe estimate rather than a high one. So 10K plus 12K plus the 5K. It's going to be, what, 27K, I believe, is our number so far. All right, I went ahead and listed off all of those. Now on to the ones that may be worth a little more value. Let's first just check the natured ones. I don't know if these are actually going to be worth more, but I think it is worth checking. So what I would do here is I would type Shroomish, I would advanced search, go over to natured, go over to adamant, go lowest price, and these are worth around the same as you can see at that 3K price. Same with Jolly. I'm going to bet, let's go ahead and double check. Yeah, around the same. So you know what? We're going to go ahead and sell all 3 of these for 3K and then just add plus 6K onto the price checker for that after the listing fee. All right, those taken care of. Next up, moving on over to 20 plus. Now these sell better at different times. I've definitely seen times where 20 plus Shroomishes, with nothing else going on, will go for a fair bit, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if it's a good time for these on the market. But keep in mind, this is a moneymaker you can do while shiny hunting, a very, very good shiny hunting spot. So yeah, as we can see, man, everything's kind of around the same price. All these Shroomishes kind of end up going for around 3K. So I'm going to go ahead and just list all of these off. If one of them has like a naughty nature or a lonely nature, I would list it for more. But nope, none of them do. So not much value here, honestly. 2K a piece after the listing fee times 6 of them. It's going to be, 12K. So we're going to add plus 12K onto our calculator. 45K in the bottom left-hand corner. And hopefully this can save us. All right, now onto our 1 times 31 Shroomishes. We have a 1 times 31 attack. Let's calculate that cost. Only sitting at around 4K right now, which is atrocious, guys. This is not the time to be catching Pokemon at the time of this market. Whew, that sucks. I'm going to do plus 3K onto that. Oof, guys, I was hoping this would at least be over 100K an hour. At over 100K an hour, it's kind of worth it. If it's going to be like 50, 60K an hour, I don't even know if this is worth the time and mental energy to quick ball these. But this is one of those money-making methods that, once again, at certain times in the market, check back on this. This could become super worth it at certain times. It really does just depend on how in demand catching Breloons are. Obviously, if you were to take the time to like EV train and XP train them, then they can become a lot more valuable. If you're looking for them to kind of collect up for that, then sure, go ahead. But other than that, is not looking great. So what I would do here is I would actually do 25 plus in these stats. Ignore the special attack. You don't need special attack on a Breloom, so looking that up would just inflate your price above its actual value. Now this might be able, this is 2 times 31 though for 40K obviously, but the next one only listed for 3 hours. The next one's 80K. This might be underpriced in my opinion. This one is female, which is relevant. Let's go ahead and change these to 20, but keep our attack at 25 plus, since that's pretty relevant. This one's going to be our comparable. Man, 6,500 Pokeyen. That seems so cheap. That seems underlisted. It kind of is. Let's go ahead and go back. Let's do 20 plus in these stats. Man, this seems underlisted. So what I'm going to do personally, you can sometimes do this in certain markets. This is kind of personal preference. It's up to you. I am actually going to go ahead and... Actually, this one has 20 plus defense, though. I don't know if I can do this. I was going to say I was going to buy this out and relist them for a higher price, but since... I mean, I still want to list this for higher. I think this is still way too cheap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy this one. I'm going to list them both for 15K. I'm not going to count that into the profit for this video, but I think this one that I have from the video caught, it's going to be... I'm going to list it for around 19... I'm going to for 15 to 20K, somewhere in that range. So you know what? Let's go ahead and do... We're at 48K. This is kind of arbitrary, but I'm going to go ahead and price it at 18K. And that will allow me to add a plus 17K onto our profit. It should sell for this price. I think it's super reasonable. 65K total expected profit from 1 hour of Shroomish. Is that worth it? Absolutely not. It's literally not even worth, buying the quick balls and having the mental energy. Obviously, you could say, oh, well, it's free because you're just shiny hunting there anyway, so you might as well quick ball. Well, no, not really. Like, quick balling them does take more time. It does slow down your encounters decently at times. And then taking the time to actually go price check them and list them is valuable time. So was it worth all of this time for 65K? Absolutely not. I would not recommend this moneymaker if you're making this money per hour. Keep in mind, this was number 1, an unlucky hour, and number 2, one of the worst times in the market to do this. So even though moneymakers like this may do really bad in a loot from 1 hour test of mine, it doesn't mean they're actually a bad money-making method, right? This is just my anecdotal example. This is not data. It's not some overarching, long-ended, studied thing. This is just my 1 hour little test, and these are my results from that test. So I wouldn't recommend doing this at the current time, in my opinion, but check it out, man. Check it out in a few months. Check it out. Always come back to stuff like this. If it's the summertime, there's a bunch of new players flooding in, people probably need catching Breloom, so just keep that in mind moving forward. If this video was helpful, enjoyable, informative in some way, good background content, make sure to leave a like on it. Helps me drastically. Dislike if not. Subscribe to the channel for daily PokeMMO videos. Follow the Twitch for streams Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. ET. Discord's linked down below if you're interested in that. If you want to go above and beyond and support the channel, YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, and PayPal/Venmo do allow me to make content. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day, and hopefully some other money-making methods on my channel can help you out a little bit more right now. Hey, thanks so much for watching the entire video all the way to the end. I really appreciate that, and I hope it was a positive asset to your day. And I also want to quickly say extra thank you to everybody whose name is on this list and goes above and beyond and allows me to do what I do. Thank you very much. Have a good one.